All right.
And we'd like to welcome you back to the big finals of this 2018 Summer Mid-Season Showdown in Stockholm, and it's actually a rematch.
Yes, it's Pontus against Nils again.
Yeah, again, and considering they did face each other off in the last round of Swiss, we got kind of a lot of information about both teams.
Yes, and Pontus did lose both games, so we'll see how he adjusts to Nils' team this time around.
Yep.
He did struggle, we noticed, against Nils' Mimelax core, and we will probably see the teams up on the screen very soon.
Yeah. I did see a little bit of Pontus' last game. Did we see anything that we didn't see in Swiss rounds, or?
Good question.
Because I can see that we didn't see anything from
nothing
Charizard.
Nothing really comes to mind.
Did Charizard make an appearance in the semifinals?
Oh, it did. I guess we know it's Heatwave Flamethrower.
Okay.
Standard stuff.
So nothing really strange there. Otherwise, kind of a similar matchup. It's coming down to either speed ties or slight differences in how the Pokémon are built.
Right. Though I think we've concluded by now that the Landorus is, even though both Landorus are Scarf, they might not speed type. Pontus seems to be slower.
Yeah,
possibly.
We've seen the Landorus on Nils' side be faster 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
Both in being the first one to intimidate in the first round of the first game in Swiss rounds, and also going before 2 times after that.
Yeah, and we're in team preview now. So as far as Pokemon we haven't seen Nils' Incineroar or Metagross, I don't believe.
No.
He's pretty consistently bringing the Koko Landorus for the Charizard, and then his Mimelax mode, which he's quite fond of. He has piloted it to great success before.
Yeah.
And then Pontus, also a fan of Mimelax, but this time only using Snorlax, and also having a Cresselia there to have a bit of a slow mode. So I'm not sure. Maybe we'll get to finally see the Cress, or maybe not.
And maybe it's a 4th move on the Snorlax on Pontus' side, which we didn't see. We did see Belladrum and Frustration only, I do think.
Right, but I would expect at this
assume...
point, I would expect Snorlaxes to be running Protect because of Incineroar.
Yeah, and we can also assume that Recycle is one of them, even though I have seen quite a lot of Belladrum Snorlaxes opting out for Recycle this format, because it's not that commonly that you can get it off, since everything is so bulky and a little bit more powerful in this format compared to the last one in 2017.
Fair. Though I also think the staying power Snorlax offers is a huge part of its appeal.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Going
it's a
into
monster
the
if you can get the setup working. So we see the 2 avatars, exactly the same avatars in the first game.
So
and
easy.
Let's see if there's a mirror this time as well.
Oh,
as
what if he leads
Incineroar
into
Landorus
Bisharp?
is coming out from Nils' side, and Tapu Koko Snorlax from Pontus. So both of them switching up.
Yeah, Nils took a huge risk leading those two into potential Bisharp lead, but Pontus did not bring his Bisharp.
Yeah, because considering that we did see a U-turn from Nils' Landorus in the second game, I think it might be beneficial for Bisharp to come in if Landorus is switch out and Bisharp is coming in. That it might still be.
I don't think Pontus brought it actually. I would expect his Snorlax to switch into Landorus, if anything.
Yeah, that might be a good choice. Getting intimidated off on both.
Physical.
We have seen the Landorus on this side being
not physical.
No.
Okay, but getting it off onto Incineroar is nice, and obviously you don't want to stay in with Snorlax against Incineroar.
Yeah. So if Incineroar is going for a fake at this first turn, it's going to be a choice if Nils is more afraid of the Tapu Koko or Snorlax. Presumably,
I think Nils could very well read a Lando switch out.
We might actually see if Snorlax... No, it's actually switching out.
Into Bisharp, actually, you were right.
Into Bisharp.
A bit of a surprise.
Landorus goes from Nerf Power into either of these slots is going to take out Tapu Koko.
Ouch.
Great prediction there by Nils.
Not much of a prediction, really. Just going for
still.
the...
And a flame. A Flare Blitz into the Bisharp, which is not focused, as taking both Pokemon out the first turn.
Ouch.
What a first turn there by Nils.
Yeah. I really think Landorus was the safer switch in, but
Didn't
alas.
really lose anything except for locking Landorus into Earth Power and getting a little bit of recall on the Incineroar, even though it wasn't that much at all.
Oh, but he didn't bring Landorus.
Oh, so Snorlax Crusader comes in there from Pontus.
Probably Pontus was thinking that since Nils didn't bring Incineroar either of the other games, he kind of forgot to bring his answers to it.
Yeah,
and now
there is a possibility that the Cresselia on Pontus side might be carrying Ally Switch, but that means that Cresselia is going to take a knockoff, which it doesn't appreciate at all. So really tricky situation here for Pontus, maybe being a little bit too confident that first turn.
Yeah, and also the fact that he didn't lead Bisharp.
So Lander is going to be hard switch out for Snorlax, and is in there going for a knockoff into Snorlax, losing its Presumed Figure Berry. Yeah.
Now there's not much Pontus can do, even if he gets up the Trick Room.
Yeah, because Snorlax is going to be stuck at 63 HP, and Trick Room is going to go up, and it might be a speed tie of the two Snorlaxes, but I don't think that Snorlax is going to have the damage output and be able to not getting knocked out by either of these threats on Nils' side.
Yeah, but if nothing else, Pontus will learn which Snorlax is faster, or if it is
that is good
tie.
information coming into the second game.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of a convincing game. Preserving the Intimidate on Incineroar, switching out this other Intimidator and Landorus in.
He wants the fake out pressure back too.
I think so, yeah. Snorlax goes for the frustration into the Landorus, taking it out. But I don't think Cresselia is going to have any damage output if it chooses to go for anything. I don't, and the critical it obviously didn't matter there.
We did see Pontus' Snorlax moved first, so it is slower. Or a speed tie.
Yeah. Cresselia goes on Ice Beam, maybe fishing for a freeze, which it doesn't get.
Even with a freeze, I just don't think it does enough damage.
No, because now Incineroar can just go for a fake out and Snorlax maybe Bellow Jump, because it's going, even if it's faster than the Snorlax on Pontus side, it's still going to outspeed the Cresselia on
we just see a forfeit.
Yeah. So quick game there.
Yeah,
convincing
very
winner from Nils, and let's see if Pontus is able to turn this around.
Indeed, he's been struggling a bit.
Maybe he's going to lead with Bisharp this in game 2,
but Nils could very easily adjust for that.
Yeah, he can. So going to the second game, how do you think that Pontus would have to rearrange and adapt to that first one?
So first of all, he has to bring Landorus, because that is basically his answer to Incineroar. He does have Bisharp, but that's not a consistent answer.
No, it isn't. He might be going for those rock-side flinches.
I mean,
it is a fair play. It's a fair play, especially if you think that you don't really have that much other else.
Another problem for him is obviously the Mimilax with the Ghostium Mimikyu to redirect attacks.
Yeah.
So he needs to bring something that can handle it. Like last set, his answer was rock slide flinches, but he needs something more reliable.
Yeah, maybe, especially considering that it's a good chance that it will be intimidated by either the Incineroar or the Landorus on the side.
Yeah.
Not being able to have that consistent damage output as rock slide would have otherwise. And we still haven't seen the Metagross.
Yeah, which makes sense because Pontus' team is just really good against Metagross.
Yeah.
He has the Charizard, he has the Landorus, Bisharp also.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not doing much in the matchup, so I don't think Nils is bringing it.
Have we seen an item on the Tapu Koko on Pontus side?
I believe it's Electrium.
Yeah. Depending on how the Metagross on Nils side, that Electrium C might even be able to take it out with an Electrium C.
Yeah, it definitely takes it out. You need to be super bulky to live that in terrain.
Yeah. Also considering that Pontus doesn't have a different terrain, changing it up.
Yeah, exactly. So, going into game 2 of the finals.
Tapu Koko and Landorus from Nils side. Against Bisharp and Tapu Koko on Pontus side, so Pontus is shuffling up and
finally gets the boost of Bisharp.
Is going to get a +1 on the Bishop, as you said, the last time these players were playing against each other, a Sucker Punch isn't going to take Landers out most likely, but it will be able to do a considerable amount of damage.
But the other problem is that Tapu Koko, which can just outspeed and pick up the KO on the Bishop, which lacks a focus sash.
Especially knowing that, yeah.
So the Bishop is not in a good spot here. And the Koko isn't really either, with the Landers threatening it. So we will see.
Yeah, it is a tough lead for Pontus.
Not sure if he can reposition from this point.
No, maybe not. So
I guess his own Landers is a relatively safe switch in, but there's also the risk that Nils reads it.
Yeah, because even though Bishop decides to go for Protector turn 1, the Tapu Koko isn't going to be able to do pretty much any damage output on either the Landers or Tapu Koko. It can go for Dazzling Gleam, chipping out on...
we see the Metagross finally!
Ah! There is the Metagross! It actually goes for a Gleam. It's going to do about 30% or maybe even more on the Tapu Koko, not anything at all pretty much on the Metagross, and we see an Electric Sea from Nils' Tapu Koko.
I think Pontus went a bit too risky because this is probably going into the Bishop.
If it's targeting the Bishop slot,
that's a
then
KO.
it will. Definitely, and especially considering that, well, it wouldn't be able to do anything with a Sucker Punch on the Lander slots as it was switching out and not...
True, but he could have suckered the Koko.
Yeah. Resisted hit, but still maybe taking it down to 30% or something like that, considering it was +1.
Yeah, fair.
But once
now
again...
the question here for Pontus is, do you want to switch in Lando, while the Metagross still has clear body, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
Yeah, and a switch is going to go before Mega Evolution, so even though Metagross is going for the Mega Evolution this turn and Pontus switches Landers in, it's not going to be intimidated.
Indeed. So the Snorlax switch-in might just be so that he can lure Nils into Mega Evolving so that his Landorus can get the Intimidate or something like that. Obviously we didn't know for sure he has Landorus, but it's a relatively safe bet.
It is, but if Snorlax on Pontus side decides to go for a Belly Drum this turn, considering that he won't be able to get Trick Room up this turn, it's still going to be in a disadvantage speed-wise, and but Landers is going to be switched in, maybe predicting a Frustration into the Koko slots.
I don't think Frustration is what worries him, really. And there's also the fact that Nils can't safely attack with the Metagross because of the Electrium Z, right?
Yes.
So a Protect from Metagross? Oh, we don't
maybe
see
not.
one.
So let's see if Electrium Z takes out Metagross or goes into the Landers slots.
I think it's going into the Metagross slot. It is.
No,
it isn't!
Actually going to the...
Oh no!
So great switch there. Also we see a Stomping Tantrum. Is it going to... No, it actually
doesn't.
survives. It's 3 HP and Snorlax goes for Belly Drum.
Stomping Tantrum being a roll that has a roughly 70%
Not
chance.
a good turn by Pontus, but not terrible either.
It's still kind of rough for him, right?
Snorlax is in a disadvantage speed-wise, but
I mean,
might
yeah, he
even
can
be
just
double.
return the Landorus and can't protect. So that's a free KO on that slot. And then the Koko is not doing much here.
No, especially considering that Nerf Power and, for example, an Iron Head is probably not going to be a KO on the Snorlax slot, even if Nils decides to double into that Snorlax. But
hidden power.
Going for locking itself into new power, taking out Tapu Koko, going for the long game because he knows that. Oh, actually, Psyche from the Metagross, copying the stat changes from Nils, from Pontus Snorlax.
I don't think anyone saw that coming.
+6 Metagross.
Wow. Oh dear.
Nice play there by Nils.
Okay.
Bringing in, conserving the information and bringing in Metagross when it definitely matters.
Yeah, I don't see how Pontus recovers from something like that.
Especially that we can
the only win con is infinite rock slide flinches.
Yeah, but still. Because as Landers on Nils' side isn't around anymore, well, there's a Snorlax from Nils as well.
I think Nils also realizes or perhaps knows at this point that maybe Snorlax is faster from last game.
Might be.
That information could help him.
Because Nils is known for running a slightly faster Snorlax than mean speed from the 2017 season, so that actually might be the case, even though we haven't got it confirmed yet.
And here comes the Rock Slide.
Here comes the Rock Slide, but it's not going to do that much
It's
onto
just for
either
the
threat.
Nope, no flinch.
No threat, flinch, and
That's
Lander
probably game.
is going to take out the critical hit. Didn't matter at all.
Crit mattered.
Snorlax flinches though, but yeah, still, he needs a lot of Rock Slide flinches on that Metagross to be able to survive this.
I think he runs out of before then.
Well, still goes for it.
Going for it? Maybe if he like crits every single one too? I can hear a flinch chant in the background.
No, he doesn't
Nope.
get it. And
No
Nils
flinch.
is our champion.
Nils is our champion. Which
Well
isn't
done, Nils.
exactly surprising.
No, but still a
Yay.
convincing game there. Saving information was really impressive.
Yeah, the Psychic Metagross was quite the shock.
Yeah. Especially, I've seen it in the 2015 format, but
You weren't expecting it here.
No, definitely not.
It's fair.
Yeah. So we're going to have a short break and then an interview with the winner.
Yep.
So
Hope you'll stay with us.
we'll be right back. Well, I'm here with Nils. First of all, congratulations to the win in this 2018 Summer Mid-Season Showdown in Stockholm, Sweden, and also your Worlds invite.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, how does it feel?
It feels great, honestly.
Yeah, that was a very convincing finals games. 2 games which was really short and really quick. How did you feel about your general matchup after that? You did face each other off in the Swiss rounds and did confirm a bit of like speed tiers and stuff like that. Were you confident coming into this final with the information that you got in Swiss rounds, or?
Well, I was pretty sure what I would want to do because I knew that main components in my team, in the sense of Landers and Coco, really could do some hefty damage against this whole team, and I knew that I needed to be aware of his Snorlax. And as we see in the first game, where I had my knockoff to deal with it, or a Psych-Up on Metagross, where I mostly needed to take away his ways to deal with my my various mons, and as well just take care of his Bishop before it can get up its boost by Defiant.
Yeah, especially confirming in the Swiss rounds that it wasn't holding a focus as instead opting for a life orb, meaning that your Tapu Koko was, if leading against the Bishop, even though we got a Defiant boost going +1, that it would be able to at most get a Sucker Punch off onto your Landers, but Coco was going to basically take care of it the same turn. Talking about the first game, how it was kind of a risky play there, leading off with double Intimidate when you knew that it was a potential having facing off a +3 Bishop on the other side.
Indeed. Well, mostly I had the gut feeling that he wouldn't leave with his Bishop, and I felt that just in general, if we say take Bishop out of the equation, the lead of Incineroar plus Landorus was very good against his whole team.
Yes.
And I just went off that gut feeling and it paid off.
Yeah. And also something that impressed me quite a lot in this, we should say best of 4 set, because that was what it was, to preserve the information that your Metagross was indeed capable of psyching up and copying the stat changes, either on your Snorlax or the opposing Snorlax. It didn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I think that having Snorlax around on Pontus' side was actually more beneficial for you than was for Pontus, considering that the speed advantage was on your side and it was knocked off as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So, no, a really impressive play there.
But I also needed to always be wary of his Rock Slide flinches.
Yeah.
But I think the RNG gods was in my favor some days.
Yeah. But on the other hand, as if you had double Intimidate and also the not very effective to on the Metagross, that Rock Slide flinches wasn't that much of a concern. But overall, very convincing games. Once and for all, congratulations. And we also thank you for tuning in. We had a lot of fun doing this stream, and I hope that we'll be back soon again.
Yeah. And I want to say hi once again to my friend sister. Let's go. And as well, Pontus that's waving in the corner.
So, thank you so much, and I hope to see you again.